Hey guys, my name's Amber, and today I'm making some of my handcrafted soap here in my little soap making room that I have made. I'm pretty brand new to this soap making thing, so I've decided to post it to all of you guys who might also be new at soap making. I figure this is a little bit of a different kind of, I don't know, post for soap making, just because, I don't know, going through this process, I've found that there are quite a few things that they might not teach you on the internet. So I'm here to basically let you guys go through the process with me. I think it's a really great way to learn the little tricks and hacks of soap making is to see, I don't know, how I would imagine most people either start out or, make their soap, even going on into being, an intermediate soap maker. So yeah, this is my process. Today I am going to be making cotton candy flavored soap along with one of the molds that I'm trying, and that is my big fairy angel. So first and foremost, I must say that if you are making soap like I make it the old-fashioned way with lye and water and oil and fragrance and all that stuff, the very most important thing is safety. And I found that safety is definitely more than goggles and apron and gloves. Although it is that, there's also a few things that I feel that you can do to, better safeguard your little area from any spills or any mishaps that you're trying to prevent. So now I am ready to handle any chemicals such as lye that I may need to handle, although I have prepared my lye water ahead of time. I prepare it about an hour to two ahead, just depending on, how much time I want to give myself. I like to make the lye and then blend all of my oils together while that is sitting and cooling down. One of the main points of lye is that it starts out very hot and it cools down to a temperature of around 120 to 130, and that is 120 to 130 degrees Fahrenheit. And I usually get that within 10 degrees of my oils, especially if you want them to blend nicely and have an easier time mixing. Now, when it comes to oil, I use 5 oils in my recipe, although aside from the basic foundation of your oils, you can generally pick from quite a few selections so that you can put together whatever recipe you like and feel comfortable with. For me, I use mango seed butter and sweet almond oil as my 2 special ingredients. I feel like mango seed butter is very creamy and gives a nice conditioning to the soap. And then my basic olive oil, palm oil, and coconut oil. And this is the oil blend that I have gotten from those ingredients. So it is about 120 degrees Fahrenheit, and my lye is around 123 degrees Fahrenheit. So I am ready to mix the two and get started on soap making. Now, what I have found with tweaking the process a little bit, just to make sure that, I've timed everything correctly, because timing is a huge factor when you are planning, your texture or your trace, technically it is called, just because, there's certain things, like if you have to open up the colors that you want to use, or if you have to open up the fragrance oil, or You know, anything like that, I found to go ahead and make sure that that is done before you start anything. It'll save you a bunch of time that you think will go by quickly, but it really won't. It'll take a lot longer than you probably think it will. Now, me being a busy working person on the go, I have, you know, a husband, kids, animals, house, the whole thing. You know, I don't necessarily have time to make everything look incredibly perfect. So, you know, I feel like that's okay. I feel like, you know, I don't have to have my whole space looking perfect to make perfect soap. Making perfect soap is about your technique and the things that you do while you're making the soap, and you know, the colors and the designs that you learn about, and all these things that you can read about. So you know, don't feel bad if your area is, you know, a little bit out of sorts. Not too much, just a little bit, you know. I do try to give my area at least, you know, a little wipe down before I start a new batch, or, you know, try to get everything put in place so I can see it more easily and pick out what I need, just so I can, you know, basically throw it in and get to the next thing. Okay, so now I am getting ready to mix my lye with my oils and blend, starting to a light trace, which technically really means a thinner base. And to do that, don't stir it a lot. Just don't really stir it more than a few times. And then, you know, if you need to make it thicker, you can always continue stirring, but you can't make it unthick. Just remember that. I feel like it's so important, and I wish somebody would have told me that my first time. So here I am pouring my lye into the oil. Now keep, you know, a little bit of a distance from you and the lye that's being poured, because again, it is toxic and you don't want to get hurt. So make sure I don't have anything dripping that I don't take with me when I move this. So now with my stirring, you can kind of see that the oils and the lye water are mixing together, and they're starting to become one. So, you know, I stir until it is around this weird color right here. And then I'm ready to start adding my color. And now I'm just stirring. I did buy a stick blender just for easier stirring if I need to stir it a lot. But I did find that I only really need it about 10% of the time, and that's really only if I can't get my things to blend together very well. So just a couple stirs at first, just to make sure that, you know, everything is mixing together, the lye with the oil and so on and so forth, and then go from there. All right, now I am going to make my whole batch white, so that whenever I do add whatever color I want, it pops out more. I feel like if I don't make the whole thing white, then the colors are faded, and they might turn into a different color because they mix with, you know, that brown color that the soap is to begin with. So I use titanium dioxide and oils, liquid oil. So the percentage for this is 1 teaspoon of titanium dioxide to 1 tablespoon of a liquid oil. And I get that ready a little bit after I do my lye, so that I can stir it up and let it sit, and stir it again so that it's not gritty and chunky. Then it becomes a nice, you know, paint-like texture. stir it with a whisk is the best way to get all those little clumps to break down, and that way, you know, it evenly spreads out throughout the soap too. So now I'm going to take my titanium dioxide mixture and just scrape it right into the soap. I like to use a spatula to scrape it out so that I get as much as I possibly can. I feel like any size of spatula would be fine though. So now I'm just making sure I get it all in there and blend it together so that it becomes all white. Okay, so now my soap is the white color that I wanted to make it, and I'm going to go ahead and pour it into a few containers so that I can make my other colors for the cotton candy soap. Now for cotton candy, I'm going to use this cyan blue. Thank you to my friends at Etsy for all the wonderful products. I'm loving them. And I'm using orchid pink for the other part of the cotton candy, because you definitely have to have pink and blue when you have cotton candy. There's no doubt about that. I don't know anybody that would eat green cotton candy. I probably wouldn't. So we're going to go with this. Okay, so my colors for the cotton candy are done. I have my blue and my pink, and I'm probably going to swirl in a little bit of the white just to offset the colors a little bit. And this design that I'm going to do is the pouring method, I suppose, where I pour one color and then pour the other color in the middle and kind of swirl and give it whatever design I really feel like giving it. I mean, there's so many ways that you can tweak these designs to make them your own. As long as you follow the basic outlines of it, you shouldn't go wrong. Okay, so I've given my soap a little stir just to make sure it's all together, and I'm going to start pouring the bottom layer, and just pour a thin layer, or thick if you want the bottom layer to be thick, whatever. It's your soap, it's your world. Go ahead and do what fits for you. All right, I'm ready to pour in some of the pink to give it the swirl design that I'm going for. And I'm just going back and forth in a V-like motion in the middle of my blue bottom. And I'll just continue to do that. Okay, so I am all finished with the soap process, and I've poured my soap into the design that I wanted. When I'm pouring my soap in, I try to knock the mold so that there's no air bubbles left behind. And this is my cotton candy loaf, 3-pound loaf of soap. I went for a rougher top just because cotton candy is, you know, fluffy and, you know, not really smooth or anything. so the top of my soap kind of looks fluffy, like cotton candy. So it is a little rough looking on the top. But the way that I've swirled it inside, whenever I cut it open, it'll be just like a giant slice of cotton candy yumminess. Again, I used a version of pink and a version of blue that I think looked most like cotton candy. A lot of this is your taste, what you like, what you want to create, what you want to sell to people, or whatever. I'm doing it for quite a few reasons.
Okay, so it is the next day, and I'm ready to take my loaf of cotton candy soap out of its mold. You generally want to give 24 to 48 hours before you officially take the soap out of the mold. And then after you take it out of its mold, you need about 2 weeks to let it come together and form what we know as soap. Um, so here we go. And here it is, my 3 pound loaf of cotton candy soap. As you can see, I have the outside and I have the bottom blue with swirls of pink inside whenever I cut it, and looks like a layer of pink icing on top, little pink puff, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, this is the finished product. And, like I said, I am in the very beginning stages of this. Um, so, keep getting better and better with time and practice. And before you know it, you'll be a pro. So just remember to make sure that you are being as safe as possible and wearing your gloves and wearing an apron, wearing eye goggles, and making sure that you're not, spreading chemicals all over your work area or house. And have fun. Don't be too hard on yourself if you don't get it right the first couple times. I know I sure didn't. And as you can see, I am still a work in progress, but practice makes perfect, and that's all we can do. So, saying so long from AmbersKarmaPGH. Guys, have a great night, and I will see you soon.